Morning. Since the last time we've spoken with you, there has been a considerable softening of prices of commodities, including edible oils, whether you look at palm oil, sunflower oil. My first question to you, Mr. Asthana, is given the government's directive to companies, by when will Patanjali start cutting down prices?
So we have been very consistent in cutting down our prices. If we quickly go back to since April of 2022, we have reduced our palm oil prices by 20 rupees a litre. We have reduced our soya prices by an additional 20 rupees a litre, sunflower oil also by 25 rupees a litre. So we've been pretty consistent, and with the continued softening of the prices, we propose to take additional 10 to 15 rupees of cut, which will get implemented very quickly. And hopefully over next between 2 and 3 weeks, you will see that getting implemented on the ground.
Okay, so you have already started to cut prices, and after the government's directive, you will be cutting down more prices. We will start to see that. Now, if I were to also see the indicators that are coming in, Malaysia, the largest, the way it contributes to the world's production for edible oils, indications coming in from there that we're going to see prices come down and supply is also going to go up. Can you give us a sense of what is going to happen in the next couple of months? Has inflation truly peaked out, and will we see normalization to the pre-Ukraine levels?
Yeah, so basically two factors are actually, basically which have triggered this current sudden drop in prices. One is clearly that the sanctions imposed post the war and this whole sort of war premium which had got added to the market has started to recede in importance, and we are seeing sudden softening of the prices at a global level as well. The second factor, of course, has been in general the stock buildup in Indonesia. So on 23rd of May, when they lifted the ban on exports, we suddenly saw a glut of availability of oil from Indonesia. Likewise, Malaysia and Indonesia, as we know, are on the peak palm oil production season. So clearly, what has happened is that easing of ban from Indonesia, peak supply side situation from Malaysia, Indonesia, as well as concerns related to the war premium which had got attached. I think as they continue to soften, the prices are continuing to reduce. At global supply concerns have receded. So I do expect that this benign price market to continue, and which is going to be beneficial for the consumers as well as beneficial for the companies as well. The kind of working capital which was being deployed, the amount of effort which the companies had to make to match the prices, which is meeting consumer expectations also, are tending to recede. So I think it should be beneficial overall for the economy as well as for the consumers and the companies also.
Okay, so the war premium that had come in for the edible oils is phasing out. We've started to see prices soften. There's Patanjali Foods also confirming, ladies and gentlemen, the prices have been cut and will continue to trend downwards. We will see price cuts from the company in the next week to 10 days. Mr. Asthana, since we have you with us, we've seen operational updates that have come in from other FMCG companies, from a Marico to a Dabur to a Godrej Consumer. And they are flagging off softening in demand. They're blaming inflation for that, red hot inflation. What has Patanjali Foods' experience been? Where do you see demand? Has it come down? Was it coming down earlier and now going up again?
So we are seeing two distinct trends in the marketplace. The demand so far has been pretty stable. In fact, for us, it has been growing. The second side is that we'll have to see that, the impact of inflation, because the inflation numbers, clearly have highlighted the problem. But we do expect a robust demand from the rural areas in the country. And I think if the rural demand sustains itself, then we should have a reasonable passage during the year. And I think with the softening of commodity prices, the easing of price burden on the consumers also will go down to that extent. And I don't expect any significant drop in demand in the FMCG space in the coming months.
Asthana, morning. So given that you remain fairly upbeat on demand, you have spoken about further price cuts going forward. What does this mean for your overall margins for the company, and in particular the margins for the food business, because they're hovering between 15 to 20%. Can we expect better margins, and by when?
So edible oils, as you know, that continue to sort of is much more a pass-through process that we have, and what as a company and dealing with the competitive pressures in the marketplace, we tend to pass on the price decrease onto the consumers. To that extent, our margin profile should not alter too much. And as to the rest of the food basket that we have, whether it's biscuits and confectionery or the other food businesses, they don't tend to get impacted as much with the commodity inflation per se, because the big softening part has happened really, on the edible oils and the grain part. And to an extent, actually, it is beneficial for our margins, especially on the biscuits area, on the confectionery side, as well as certain food areas. We believe that the margin profile should improve only for us.
Okay, and finally, you've also mentioned an expectation of close to 2,500 crore rupees when it comes to your FY23 EBITDA. Are you standing by this projection, and do you think we can see some sort of an upside revision?
Upside revision, I would not venture at this point of time. But we're pretty much consistent with what we had projected earlier. It's still very early days, just first quarter is just about finished. But we should be able to meet our expectations on the the earnings for the financial year 23.
Okay, so that's Sanjeev Asthana, Patanjali Food, for you, confirming, ladies and gentlemen, that you will continue to see price cuts in the next week to 10 days. We have been seeing prices of companies like Patanjali reducing prices of sunflower oil, palm oil, etc. And we will continue to see that. And Mr. Asthana, thank you so much for being live with us this morning to take us through all of those developments.